Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Shavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Still in the Bhashya, page, let me see which page, 245, yes. So, concluding the verse 20, he says, Nirgama Asambhavat means unable to withdraw to a life of what? Sannyasa. Who this person here described in the 20th verse. Who is that? The one who has left any kind of a desire for karma phala, the one who is always contented, the one who is not dependent on anything for their life. There is no dependency, and the one who, even though engaged in action, is really not doing anything. And this causes a lot of problems in understanding how is a person who is doing something not really doing anything. Because like in the yesterday's example we saw, what did we see? Like Krishna said, I am Nitya Brahmachari, not doing anything. But all the gopis, they saw different. And so like this, from the standpoint of the Lokadrishtya, from the standpoint of the people, there is a certain kind of an attitude, and from the standpoint of the Jnani himself, there is a different understanding. So to bridge that particular gap, Adi Shankara takes great pains in this Bhashya and in the upcoming verses up till verse 24, describing Jnani Lakshana and Akartritvam, because this Akartritvam is very difficult. It's the biggest bear. Bear means, something difficult to handle. You see a bear coming, what do? That's why they say play dead. Yeah, because one may as well be that. So there's not much options. You climb a tree, it will climb faster than you. So therefore you can't, therefore it's a big bear in Vedanta Shastra, this Akartritvam. People don't understand that. People say you are a jnani and you just had a big meal, isn't eating an action, and then they will also, pick, if they are not, what are they, if they don't have reverence for this particular lifestyle, if they are themselves not mumukshus, they will pick a bone with that. They will try to fight you with that. And they will, because the sannyasi lifestyle disturbs a lot of people. Why should it disturb? You do what you want. You do you, as they say in the United States. I do me, meaning I do whatever I want. You do what you want. Why should it disturb? If you decide to take a life of not doing anything, not committed to action, but committed to knowledge, why should I get disturbed? I get disturbed because I want everybody to be doing what I do. But why? Why should I want everybody to be doing what I only do, or something like what I do? Such as, what are the regular people, what do they do? Getting educated, finding a job, and running up and down, tearing your hair out in clumps, getting upset, then getting happy a little bit, and then what? Getting lonely, and then getting married, getting a child, aham, avam, vayam. This is what people do. So if you don't want to do that, and I want to do this, the other person, you are not coming in my way, why should I be upset and come in your way? Because secretly, as we saw, every manushya mama vartma eva anuvartante. Everybody secretly is on this path, whether they know it or not. Secretly means it's a big secret from them itself. They themselves don't have the introspection to know that this is what I want. So if what I want, somebody else is headed to do that, I should just say, I'm not there yet, go for it, wonderful. I should encourage the other person, but I don't. Why? Because I feel they are getting ahead, I am being left behind, I don't have what it takes. Therefore, the best way of stopping these feelings is to pull them back with what? Saying, you're not doing your duty? What's wrong with you? You are so, how old are you? Oh, I'm 35. You're 35 only? Yeah? And then, what about marriage? What about your parents? What about children? Don't you want to give them grandchildren? Don't you want their name to continue? And then what? Do you have any disability? No. Then you're going to beg for food? You're able-bodied. You're able-bodied. You are, you're lifting weights. You are capable. And then what are you doing? Bhikshatanam. What is this? What's wrong with you? All under the guise of this Vedanta Shastra. This Vedanta Shastra is like an eclipse. I don't know when it will leave. It's an eclipse that doesn't leave you at all. This is how the people, not only in our time, because even now in India, if the neighbor's child takes sannyasa, everybody will go and say, oh, you played in my lap and look how wonderful, how saintly you have become. Orange suits you. Here, the aunties and uncles will, what is this? Pull the cheek out of affection. Okay, not trying to hurt. Out of affection, they will do some cheek pulling, hugging, and then feet falling and giving dakshina. If their own son or daughter goes on this path, finished, totally finished. What's wrong with you? Where is the kartavya? What happened to you? And like this, not only in these times, but also in the olden times, the same problem, because same tendency, same human tendency. So if you think the Bhashya is a little over the top and repetitive all the time, just bear with it, because this needs repetition. This needs to be underscored. And that's why it is being pushed by Adi Shankara, because this is a very important section that is doing two things at once. It is establishing akartritva buddhi on the part of the jnani, that there is no kartritvam, there is no doership. A, and B, it is also establishing jnani lakshana, and C, it is showing how even though the jnani is doing things, not doing anything at all. Okay, so then we'll continue with this here. So the last part, because we hurried up last part, so I hurried up, so I want to go a little this thing. Nirgama asambhavat. So, unable to take sannyasa. Why? Because, not because they don't want to, but because, let's say they are young, and then they are in a very good position, and they have atmajnanam, and there are elderly people looking at them. What about your kartavyata? You haven't finished your duties. How can you take sannyasa? And in order to not rock the boat of society and disturb the people, and incur vigarhana. Vigarhana means some kind of, what is the good word for it? Ninda, that didn't help. Censure, disapproval. So, in order to not encourage disapproval, or in order to remove the disapproval, parihartum ichha, jihirsha. Jihasa, hatum, ichha, desire to give up, parihartum, ichha, pari plus hr, to remove. So, pari plus hr means to remove any chance of displeasure among the society people, because they can afford to do that. They are not fixated on sannyasa. What are they fixated on? Atmajnanam. So, they will still be in the ashrama, because there is some kind of a, you see, you have to take the, what is that, permission of the spouse. before you take sannyasa. You have to take the permission of any minor child before you take sannyasa. And you have to take the permission of mother. Father is not mentioned, but mother has sacrificed so much. She has kept this body, mind, sense complex in her womb for such a long time, given birth so much, undergoing so much pida, pain, and then taken the pains to raise this baby. Read a Matra Panchakam attributed to Adi Shankara. Beautiful text. And so, therefore, the mother's permission is sought. So, 3 people have to give permission. Okay, even if one of them says no, then the person has to be in that ashrama only. Jnanam is not denied. The person is still a jnani, whether in orange or, as I said, neon purple, doesn't matter. They are still a jnani, but the lifestyle change has not been done by them. Then also, what will they do? They still have Nishkriyatma Darshana Sampanna. They have that vision of no division, and they may continue. They may continue like this, but they will not be affected by whatever they do. Now, verse 21. Nirashiryata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. So, nirashihi. Ashihi means desires. Ashis is desire. Nirashihi, from whom all desire has departed. Yata means from yam, to restrain. Yata chitta and atma. Chittam antahkarana means the emotion, the emotional makeup, etc. Atma here is not Atma. Atma means mano buddhi, manas here. Atma is manas and chittam is emotions. So, yata means not controlling, not restraining, disciplining. Yam means to discipline. Yata, past passive participle. That's how most of the Bahubrihi start, with the past passive participle. So, yata chittatman is the pratipadika here. So, yata means the one who has disciplined their emotions, emotionally grown up, ityartha, emotionally matured, and then also has the buddhi and the mind under that discipline. Such a person, who is that? Tyakta sarva parigraha. Parigraha here is all the things that they own, they have given up. Given up what they own means there is something called ownership. Like you may own a house, you may own a car. Correct? You have a car, you have a house, you have the papers to show for it. But then there is a difference between ownership and possession. Possession means being possessed by what you own. If you were possessing, you can drop. But what is the problem here? The person is possessed by the house, possessed by this. And usually you use the word possession for what? Bhoot, spirits. Yeah, this person is possessed by spirits, like that. So, in place of spirit, you use house, you use bank account, you use the word. So, the person is mad because they are possessed by this. There is a difference between ownership and possession, ownership and objective fact, and being possessed by that subjective, this pratibhasika is there. Subjective entanglement is there. So, so the person described here may have some things, but then they are not going to cry if you take away their begging bowl. Oh my God, it was made of enamel. What am I to do? They are not going to cry. Shariram kevalam karma. Shariram. What kind of a word is it? Tadhita. Because whenever I asked a question, or Swamiji asked a question, what kind of a word it is? It must be what? Tadhita. Because there is the classic Adi Vriddhi. So, Shariram generally would translate as Tadhita has so many wide usage. Tatra bhavam, obtaining there, or tasya idam, tasya apatyam, pertaining to this, tasya idam, or tasya apatyam, so and so's progeny. Like this, so many meanings are there, and so the word Shariram can be confusing. Adi Shankara is going to go on a little grammatical jaunt in the Bhashya, raising some questions, etc. And we will finish that. I hope to finish that quickly, because we don't even know Tadhita, and so to engage in a discussion about what this Tadhita should mean and what it should not mean can be a bit much. So we will just summarize what he says so that you get the meaning of it without getting more grey hairs. Okay, so that is the idea. Shariram, he refutes the meaning, the traditional meaning, Sharire Bhavam, obtaining in the body or pertaining to the body. He refutes that meaning. Why, we will see as we go through the Bhashya. Kevalam means only for the sake of the body. He instead translates the word Shariram, meaning for the sake of the upkeep of the body. This is important. This is an important translation. For the sake of the upkeep of the body, the one who only does that kind of a karma, kurvan means what? Doing, na apnoti, does not gain. What? Kilbisham. What is this kilbisha? Kilbisha generally, especially if it is connected with karma, means anartha, undesirable things. Usually what? Papa. Papa is seen as kilbisha because it is the result of action, is it not? But here Adi Shankara very beautifully translates kilbisha as samsara. There is nothing more unfortunate, there is nothing more anartha. Anartha means destructive in nature than what? Samsara. So the person is free of samsara, free of doership and experiencership. This is the translation. So then again continuing with the Jnani Lakshana and also Akartritva Buddhi discussion, and also understanding how this Akartritvam is translating in the life of a Jnani. With this in mind, the following Bhashya is offered. So Nirashihi Nirgata Ashishaha Yasmat. So from whom all the desires have departed. Nirgata, departed. Because Ashis is a feminine word. Nirgata. So Nirgataha also you can take Ashishaha Yasmat, from whom all desires have departed. Oh, okay. All right. One more paragraph is there. Okay. Two lines are there. Yeah. Yaf punaha Purvokta Viparitah means opposite of the one that was talked about before. Who was that? The one who did not want to rock the boat. He is capable of sannyasa but hasn't taken it out of just the respect for society. And then, so Purvokta Viparitah, opposite of that, who is that? Prageva karmarambhat brahmani sarvantare pratyagya atmani nishkriye sanjata atmadarshanaha. So who is that? Prag eva, before itself. Before what? Before even starting the action. Meaning before even as one was identifying oneself as karta, found that identification extremely troublesome. At a young age went to ashram, started to study this, and then took to a life of sannyasa, such a person. And then Brahmani. Brahmani means in Brahman, Sarvantare. Brahmani, Sarvantare, in this Brahman. Who is this Brahman? The self-dwelling indwelling self in all. Pratyagatmani, in this inner self which is dwelling in all, in that Nishkriye. What kind of Atma is it? Akriya Atma. In that actionless Atma, the one who has this understanding, Sanjata Atma Darshanaha. So this person has completely identified with the Brahman who is Sarvantara, who is everywhere, all pervasive. Pratyagatmani, has understood that in oneself. That myself is actionless. This Brahman which is dwelling in all is actionless. Not only am I actionless, even the people doing actions that I see on the road, they are also what? Actionless. Such a person who has this knowledge, saha, that person, drishta ishta vishaya ashihi vivarjita taya. So that person who has given up, vivarjita means in whom there is an absence of what? The desire, ashihi, the desire. Desire for what? Drishta and adrishta vishaya. This we already saw. What is drishta vishaya? Things here. Seen things, heard things, everything. Seen means heard also, here. And adrishta means that which is not obtained here, in the hereafter. So drishta vishaya means all the desirable objects in the here and the hereafter. Verses shlokas 23 to 25 in the first valli of the Kathopanishad. So all that, comprising that. Here, what do we have here? Long life, desire, adhipatyam, rulership, overpowering other people, controlling people, which everybody loves to do. And then all this is drishta vishaya. And then what else? Then the heavenly damsels and the heavenly all kinds of yakshas, kinnaras, and then what are the other ones called? Gandharvas, music, dance, all these things. Adrishta vishaya, never heard of, have heard of but never seen. Hereafter, the ones that have, for whom that has been given up. Because of that, what happens? Drishtarthe karmani prayojanam apashyan. Because of that, they have seen, seeing what? Seeing that no prayojanam, no use, seeing no use in the actions directed towards, deployed towards what? Drishta vishaya. So since this I don't want drishta vishaya, I don't want adrishta vishaya also. Vishaya means objects. I don't want objects here to make me happy. I don't want the hereafter to make me happy. Seeing that, then what is the use of karma? Karma is for these two things. All karma is for drishta vishaya only. And so, if the drishta vishaya is the purpose of karma, and that drishta vishaya I don't want, then what is the use of karma? Seeing thus, sasadhanam karma sanyasya, giving up all the karma along with all the accoutrements we saw in the previous class. Sharira yatra matra cheshtaha. So the one who is only doing action for the upkeep of the body, mind, sense complex, who is that? Yatihi, yatnashilatvat. The one who has worked towards this. Like I said, Atmajnanam does not drop. All right, yeah, you have to work for it. And then also, since there is Shravanam takes place easily, but there is what is that? There are calices of so many lifetimes of wrong notions and so many lifetimes of being possessed by various desires. So many entanglements, lifetimes of entanglements, chronic issues from this life and other lives that takes time to shed. That is why there are so many Upanishads, okay, those that make you shed all these calluses, various things. Calluses, you know what they are? Like, if you walk barefoot from here to Badrinath and come back, what will happen to the feet? That is called calluses, okay. Yeah, another thick level of skins will grow, and that is called calluses. So that calluses, the calluses are what? In the form of wrong notions about Jiva Jagat, Ishvara, wrong notions about philosophy, wrong notions about theology, wrong notions about everything. And then therefore these wrong, and also because of the wrong notions there is attachment, there is attraction, there is aversion, there is all kinds of things. So all this to give up at once, Shravanam takes place, Jnanam has actually taken place, but then that Jnanam is eclipsed by all these notions. Notions about oneself, notions about Vedanta. People have so many notions about Vedanta. And then there is fear that, oh, nothing will happen. I have studied, nothing happened. Therefore, Vedanta is Nishprayojanam. Not Drishta Vishaya is Nishprayojana. Vedanta itself is useless. Like this, wrong conclusions can come. But here, the person for whom all these notions have worn out their welcome is called Yatihi, because they have made an effort to drop those notions. They have made an effort. In addition to Shravanam, what have they done? Mananam and Nididhyasanam also. Such a Yatna Shilavan, Yatihi, who is that? Jnana Nishtha. Jnane Nishtha Yasya Saha, for whom there is total abidance in this knowledge, unshakable abidance in this knowledge. Muchyate iti etam artham darshayitum aha. To show that the one who has this kind of a vairagya towards the objects of desire, and has this kind of a vairagya towards the objects in the hereafter, and who is only there to keep up the body mind sense complex, and has total abidance in the knowledge, they are not bound by their actions. To clarify this, the next verse, shloka, is offered. So this we already saw. Nirashihi, desireless. Yata chittatma, chittam, emotions, atma, mind. So chittam antahkaranam. So atma means mind. What is this chittam and this atma? Bhashya, bhashya. They are external to me. Who can say that other than the jnani? Think about this. Any passing emotions, yeah, having a bad day, can't attend Gita class. Small emotion, nothing would have happened, but the fear that it might happen itself, you know what? I go under the covers because it's still winter, so I can do that, yeah. And emerge only much later. Yeah, small emotions, just, prasabham harati manaha. We saw that earlier. So this is, and then this one, the Bhagavan, Krishna says this. Yatato hyapi kaunteya, the one who is striving for this. Vipashchit, the one who has clarity of vision. And then Indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. They take away the mind forcibly from this. Which verse is that? Yeah. Yatato hyapi kaunteya. Yeah, you will find it. So, second chapter. So, Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparaha the second one also I am saying, second line also, so you can find it. So then 61, yeah. See there, it is made very clear. Yatataha api, the one who is yatnashila, and then the one who is striving, and vipaschitaha means who has clarity of vision. He or she may still be in the process of knowing, but they are geared towards that clarity. Indriyani pramathini, these indriyas, the sense organs, are mischievous. Mischievous. Haranti, they take away forcibly. Prasabham manaha haranti. The manaha should be the pragraham, the reins of the sense organs, but in fact, the sense organs hijack the mind, kidnap the mind. And so here, that is not there for whom, meaning the person who is yati, who is not disturbed by the emotions, not disturbed by the mind, unafflicted. Why? Because they know these two, the mind and the emotions, are what? Bhashya. They are external to me. I am not the mind. I am not the buddhi. And what are they part of? Karya karana sanghatah. They are part of the body mind sense complex. Body mind sense complex means mind is also included. If mind is included, the emotions are also what? Included. So this is external to me. Now the one who knows, tau ubhau api. Tau means cow. These, yeah, chittam and atma, these two. Atma means manaha. Chittam and manaha, the one who is able to hold the mind and the chittam, what did I say? Chittam, emotions together. Yuktaha. Yatau, samyatau, the one for whom all this is nicely disciplined. Samyatau, yena saha yatachittatman, yatachittatma. So, yena, by whom, tau ubhau api yatau, samyatau. Tau ubhau means for whom the mind and the emotions are nicely disciplined is called yatachittatma. Tyakta sarva parigraha. Tyaktaha sarvaha parigraha yena saha. Very easy, vichheda here of the samasa. By whom all the possessiveness has been given up. That is not only possessions, but possessiveness has been given up. So now here we come to this little bit of a involved bhashya, as I told you. So, Shariram, and then first he gives his interpretation, which he will then defend why he has given it. Shariram means what? Usually, how will it be translated? Sharire bhavam, obtaining in the body, pertaining to the body. And if you want to put it in English, bodily. Shariram means Shariram karma, bodily functions relating to the body. So, he refutes this grammatical interpretation. Even though the word shariram is used, he says, what should we do? Sharira sthiti matra prayojanam kevalam karma. It should be translated in this way. In which way? Sharira sthiti matra prayojanam. He brings in the usage. The usage, prayojanam, means for the purpose of maintaining, prayojana, for the purpose of maintaining what? Sharira. So, to maintain the body, sthiti means maintenance. So, the purpose for the shariram kevalam karma means the karma that is solely for the purpose of maintaining this body. This is how it should be interpreted. And then he says, tatra api abhimana varjitam karma. There also I am doing this identification is not there. That kind of karma. Kurvan na apnoti. What can you say for apnoti? Prapnoti. Na prapnoti. Na apnoti. Na prapnoti. Does not get. Kilbisham. Anishta rupam. Undesirable is called kilbisham. What is this kilbisham? He says papam. At least this is a working definition. Later on he is going to say kilbisham means samsara. But then kilbisham means anishta rupam papam punyam cha. Dharma is punya. Dharmam cha, he says, dharma is punya. So kilbisham means undesirable. And what does that include? Papa and punya. Punya is included in undesirable. Why? How? I thought we needed punya. We need lots of punya in order to gain this knowledge. All these things we say. We go to temple, we do all kinds of things for punya. Here it says punya is undesirable. Why? Punya will give rebirth also. Lot of punya means what? Sheikh in Abu Dhabi, lot of money. Yes. No chance of studying Vedanta, because they have a great lifestyle, wonderful life. They have so much oil wealth is, it is huge. And so much they have. They have great life, and so then we'll be there somewhere in the Middle East, reborn, because lot of punya. Yeah. And then but no chance of Vedanta. Even Vedanta books are not allowed in many places like that. If you take any photos of Ramakrishna, it is collected at the airport and you are allowed to go. It is searched, bag is searched and collected. Some places are like that, not all of them, but still that is there. So therefore what? So punya also gives rebirth. It will give rebirth for some kind of a bhoga sharira it will give. And so therefore punya is also a shackle. And he is going to explain this. Dharma api mumukshoho kilbisham eva. See, for the mumukshu, jignasu, punya is also anishta. Why? Bandha apadakatvat, because it is productive of what? Bandha. It causes bondage. Bondage to what? Samsara. Bondage to the next life, etc. Kimcha shariram kevalam karma. Here now he raises an objection and answers it. What is the objection? Objection means he himself will raise a question. It's not a full-fledged Purva Paksha, but he raises the question because grammatically it should be what? Sharire bhavam, pertaining to the body. Okay. So then kimcha. Furthermore, what is this shariram? Shariram kevalam karma ityatra. Here in this context, what does this phrase mean? What is the phrase? Shariram kevalam karma. That is the phrase. So functions for the sake of the body. That is the phrase. Kim sharira nirvartyam shariram karma. Is it the actions accomplished by the body? Abhipretam. Is that what is intended by Bhagavan? Ahosvit. What is this ahosvit? Yeah, a very complicated way of saying va or. Yeah. So if you have a lot of time, you can say ahosvit. 3 syllables, okay? Otherwise you can say va, nava, is it there or is it not there? Like that. But here ahosvit means or. So what is we have to understand both the pakshas very well. What is the first one? Sharira nirvartyam karma is what is intended by Bhagavan. Sharira nirvartyam karma is the function. Function means what? The functions accomplished by the body. Shariram. Is that what is meant? Or ahosvit sharira sthiti-matra prayojanam shariram karma iti. Or should we take it as actions performed to keep this body going? Body means body, mind, sense complex going. So then he says kimcha ataha yadi sharira nivartyam shariram karma yadi va sharira sthiti matra prayojanam shariram. And then some people may say, Adi Shankara, come on. Why are you just splitting hairs? What's the difference? If it is done, if the karma is done for the sake of the upkeep of the body, or if the karma is done by the body, what's the big difference? And here only that akara, shariram, that tadhita, meaning, why are you fixating? Why is it such a big deal? If people ask that, then this is going to be, he is going to explain it. He says, let me just summarize this, okay? So, I'll read it quickly and summarize this. We won't take it line by line, word by word, okay? Because it's not necessary. So, yada sharira nirvartyam karma shariram abhipretam syat तदा दृष्टादृष्ट प्रयोजनं कर्म प्रतिषिद्धम अपि शरीरेण कुर्वन् न आपनोति किल्बिषम् इति ब्रुवतः विरुद्ध अभिधानं प्रसज्येत. So if the first interpretation is taken, what is the first interpretation? Sharira nirvartyam karma, action accomplished by the body is called shariram. Then we have to say that if so drishta prayojanam karma, so any karma done for gaining things in the here or the hereafter, pratishiddham api, even if they are wrong actions prohibited by the Vedas, will still not incur papa. Is that the intention we want to convey? That the jnani goes on robbing houses? Why? Because even though it is action, it is bodily action, meaning it's accomplished by the body. Picked the lock, went inside, and what did the jnani do? Gave the homeowners instant vairagya by taking off everything. And then this is what? This is action prohibited or allowed by the Shastra? Prohibited by the Shastra. And the jnani goes away, and does that mean the jnani is free of papa? Then he concludes, this we have to see. We have to say that then in that case what happens? Viruddha abhidhanam prasajyeta. In that case we will have the Shastra becoming contradictory. Because what does the first portion of the Shastra say? Do this, don't do this. And for one's own emotional maturity, it is said. And then you must not rob homes, but the jnani can do whatever they want. This would be like two rules for two people. That cannot be the intention. Because there is a prasanga. What is the prasanga? The prasanga is that there is a prasanga means what? Context. There is a possibility for interpreting it wrongly. Okay, then what? Then we can say, no, the jnani only does shastriyam karma, meaning only that which is given by the Shastra alone they are doing, and then how? By the body, sharire bhavam, accomplished by the body, then they will not get any papa. Do you need to say that? No, this is obvious. This is obvious. Why? Because if you do right actions, you will not get any papa. Do you have to keep saying that? No. And the Bhagavad Vachanam, the words of Bhagavan will get the fallacy of aprapta pratishedha prasanga. Prasanga means like the context. What is aprapta pratishedha prasanga? Oversaying means what? Did anybody ask you if doing the right thing will it give papa? Did anybody ask? Nobody asks. Why? Because everybody knows that doing the right thing will not cause papa. Still you are defending something that doesn't need to defend. So the need for this defense is there or not there? Not there. Aprapta, pratishedha, negation. The negation of papa for shastriya karma is not necessary. So therefore this bodily functions done by the body therefore is negated. And then further shariram karma kurvan iti visheshanat kevala shabda prayogat cha Vang manasi nirvartyam karma vidhi pratishedha vishayam dharma adharma shabdavachyam kurvan prapnoti kilbisham iti uktam syat. Further, because it's not just shariram karma, there is one more word. What is that? Kevala, a very inconvenient word, meaning only for the sake of the body or only by bodily functions, this kind of a karma that is done, this kevala visheshanat, this shariram karma kurvan iti visheshanat, by specifying this bodily function and by the usage of the word only, then what happens? Then it will have to be said that if the person does any action, how not just in the speech and the mind, so bodily functions are exempted from bad karma, kilbisha, but mental actions and then verbal actions are what will not incur any, so mental actions will incur papa, verbal actions will incur papa, only bodily actions won't incur papa. There is sandeha. Did you understand that part? Yeah. So, shariram kevalam means only body, meaning what? Mind, senses are exempted. So, any bodily actions will not incur papa, but mental actions, verbal actions such as verbal himsa, hurting somebody, will incur papa. Like this, there is some kind of a sandeha, because it is counter to the teaching of the Shastra. So this is, so he says, Vang manasabhyam vihita anusthana apekshe kilbisha prativachana viruddham apadyeta. It is against the Shastra. What is against the Shastra? That that only bodily actions are exempted from papa, but mental actions and verbal actions are not. Because see, in the Shastra, these threefold distinctions are made. Kayikam karma, physicalized action. Vachikam karma, verbal actions. And then what? Manasam karma, mental actions. So, manasam karma. What is manasam karma? Meditation. Example of that. And then what is vachikam karma? Saturday satsang. Vachikam karma, all verbal bhajans, etc. Physicalized action, everything that happens in the temple. These threefold distinctions being there in the Shastra, and then if you just sort of say only bodily functions are exempted from bad karma, then what? What are you doing? You are exposing the mental actions of a jnani and the verbal actions of a jnani to what? Papa punya. That is contradictory to the teachings, contradictory to the Shastra. And then supposing if on the other hand, if you say pratisiddha seva pakshe api bhutartha anuvada matram anarthakam syat. Supposing if you say that, okay, only if you do wrong action you will incur papa, this is what? Anuvada matram, the fallacy of redundancy. Anuvada means repetition of the same thing. What for? It should be there. So, but he says, please take my interpretation. Why? Yada should be read as yadi. So, if you see, on the other hand, sharira sthiti matra prayojanam shariram karma abhipretam syat bhavet, if you take it as the karma that is done for the sake of the upkeep of the body, then drishta prayojanam karma vidhi pratishedha gamyam sharira vangmanasa nirvartyam anyat akurvan taihi eva shariradhibhi sharira sthiti matra prayojana केवल शब्द प्रयोगात् अहम करोमि इति अभिमान वर्जितः शरीरादि चेष्टा मात्रं लोकदृष्ट्या कुर्वन्नपि न किल्बिषम् आपनोति. Meaning what? If we take it this way, that the action is for the sake of upkeep of the body, that means what? The body is not separate from the mind and the speech and all the buddhi, etc. That person is not doing any action, either prescriptive action, vidhi karma, or prohibited action, nishedha karma. And because of that, they are not producing drishta phalam, whether they are not producing any visible result or result that is going to be fructified later on. And then because of the use of the word kevala, even the action that is done by the body for the sake of obtaining bhiksha, etc., will not bind the person. This is how you have to take this, he says. And then further, evam bhutasya, for this kind of a person, papa shabda vachya kilbisha prapti asambhavat. Then he says, I am going to refine the translation of the word kilbisha. First, what was kilbisha? Papam cha dharmam cha. Look in the previous page. Papam cha dharmam cha. Which page? I will show you. Look in this page. Papam cha dharmam cha, the bottom of page 246. Papam cha dharmam cha, kilbisha was done that. He said, now that I haven't lost you as an audience after going on a tirade about how the word sharira should be understood, let us also edit the translation of the word kilbisha. Kilbisha is no longer papa punya, but what is indicated by papa punya. We have to take it upalakshana, we have to take it as a figurative. What is indicated by papa punya? What is indicated? Samsara. So kilbisha is what? Samsara, he will say. So kilbisham samsaram na apnoti. Such a person will not gain samsara, means will come out of samsara. So jnanagni dagdha sarva karmatvat apratibandhena muchyate. Without any obstacle, apratibandhena, the person is free. Purvokta samyak darshana phala anuvadah eva eshaha. And then after writing 4-page commentary, he says, this verse is just a repetition of the previous one. Chill people, he says. Okay, how do you say chill people in Sanskritam? Just like that. Okay, chill people, don't worry about, so don't worry. It is, if you didn't, in other words, if you didn't understand the above, don't worry. If it went above means what? That which has gone above. If the previous bhashya went above, don't worry. Agre spashtam bhavet. Later on it will become clear, or even if it doesn't become clear later on, you haven't lost it. Why? Because did you understand the previous verse? Say yes, quickly. Yes. So then doesn't matter if you didn't understand this particular bhashya. Not much is lost. See, I love how he just helps us along. And then, then that concludes. I never thought we would finish it, but God's grace. That has been, 21st verse has been done. So this anuvadaha eshaha. And then evam shariram kevalam karma iti asya artha parigrahe niravadyam bhavati. And then he says, now that we have understood it rightly, what is that? Sharira prayojana matram we have understood. After that you can say bodily function also, it doesn't make any difference. Sharire bhavam you can say, but say it with this understanding. Yadrichha labha santushtaha dvandvatito vimatsaraha समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते. This is a very nice verse and a very nice expression also. Yadrichha labha. So yadrichha labha means without asking what is gained. Yadrichha labha santushtaha. So through that, in that, santushtaha, the one who is who has the contentment, content with what is given. And then content means what? Sanjata alam pratyaya, for whom the word enough has come. Whatever has come on its own, enough. Enough. The word enough is born immediately. Easily pleased means there is not looking for more things. Enough. Sanjata, for whom is born what? Alam pratyaya. Pratyaya here is not, what is that? Trich and all these things. Pratyaya, pratiti, the cognition, the recognition, I am enough. This is really Atmajnanam. I am enough translates to I have enough. First I have to understand I am enough. Without anything, I am enough. And then that means what? I have enough. And so that kind of a contentment the one has is called yadrichha labha santushtaha. Dvandva atitaha. Atitaha means have crossed this penchant for getting caught up in opposites. Whether the opposites are physical conditions, too hot, too hot, too hot, too cold, too cold, too cold. And then, or mental conditions or notions. Various darshanas, getting caught in various darshanas, mental formations, different things. Every way, good, bad, that's a formation. Punya, papa, that is also a formation. Vrittis, these are. Punya, papa, shita, ushna, sukha, dukkha, and then what else? Then other such kinds of things. Dharma, adharma. And what else is there? So many opposites. The whole world is full of opposites. Doer, non-doer, and Shishya, Guru, and then what else? Ishvara, Jiva, all these opposites, the one who has Atitaha, transcended, is called Dvandva Atitaha. Atitaha, through knowledge, has understood the purposelessness of being in one paksha, one koti or another, because the partisanship does not yield Atmajnanam. Atmajnanam and taking a side do not go together ever, ever, ever. We have to stop taking sides, whether it's with people or with beliefs or with notions, then only Atmajnanam will come. And so, the one who has achieved that. And then after that, Vimatsaraha. Vimatsaraha means the one who is not comparing themselves to others because of irshya, jealousy, matsara. So matsara means there is a asuya. Asuya means the kind of an intolerance of other people's rise to some status, fame. So there is a certain kind of a discomfort that happens when you see somebody else is doing well. The jnani doesn't have that. And then siddhau asiddhau cha samaha, the one who has equanimity in the face of what? Accomplishment, success, and asiddhi, failure. And what happens to such a person? Kritvapi na nibadhyate, does not get caught up in even if they are doing anything. So here is the Sambandha Bhashya. Tyakta sarva parigrahasya yatehe. For such a person described in verse 21, the yatnashilaha, the munihi, mananashilaha, the jnani, tyakta sarva parigrahasya, the one who has dropped all sense of ownership, annadehe, for the sake of food, sharira sthiti hetoho, for the sake of maintaining the body, parigrahasya abhavat yachanadina sharirasthau kartavyatayam praptayam. So now there is the reason for the 22nd verse is being presented. So let me give you the reason and then we'll see the Bhashya. So now the objection may be raised. Yadrichha labha santushtah dvandvatito vimatsarah samassiddhavasiddhau cha kritvapi na nibadhyate. And such a person is who is going for the sake of bhiksha. Going, is that an action or not? Yes. Begging, is that an action or not? Yes. And so, how you can say this person is actionless? Through who? Lokadrishtya. You see the jnani going, knocking on the door, is that an action or not? Yes. Greeting the lady of the house, bhavati, bhikshan dehi. So bhavati bhikshan dehi, please give me, oh mother, please give me bhiksha. So that all that are actions or not. Talking is an action. Bhiksha, gaining bhiksha is an action. Walking from house to house, because the people who are of the madhukari vritti are allowed to beg from 5 houses so that you don't remain hungry. Because maybe in one house there is nothing. In another house they are little kanjus. So they just give little, enough. Little more. Enough, they may give only little bit. So therefore, 5 houses you can beg. So you see the jnani going from house number 1 to 2 to 3, 4, 5. Is that action or not? So then how is this action permitted by the Shastra? How is this action permitted for the jnani who lokadrishtya, from the standpoint of the view of the people, is supposed to be what? Akarta. And that is what is being talked about here. And so, sharira sthiti hetoho parigrahasya abhavat, because they don't have sacks of rice at home. And they have to go for the sake of the body from one place to another. Kartavyatayam praptayam. Since the duty is there to keep up the body, then he quotes Bodhayana Smriti, ayachitam asankliptam anupapannam yadrichaya. Yadrichaya means ayachitam. Ayachitam means that which is not asked for. Yachita, asked for. Ayachita, unasked for. Asankliptam, unplanned, not sort of premeditated. I will go to their house for bhiksha because they are very good cooks. Not that premeditation is also not there. And then asankliptam, not planned, and then what else? Unsought, not planned, not asked for, is called yadrichaya. That is the meaning of yadrichaya according to the Bodhayana Smriti. So ityadina vachanena, by such words, Anugyatam is it's permitted. Permitted. What is permitted? The yati's lifestyle. Yatehe sharira sthiti hetoho annadehe prapti dwaram avishkurvan bhagavan aha. So therefore it is permitted. So 2 things are there. First is what? They don't have any possessions. Who? Yatis, sannyasis. They don't have any possession. Fact number 1. Fact number 2, they have an obligation to keep up the body as long as it's alive. So these 2 facts means they have to do some actions, and that action is venerated and permitted by Bhagavan in the next verse, in the next shloka. So dvandvatito, so therefore even if they go to bhiksha, what will happen? They will not be bound by the action of begging. They will not be bound by the action of going from one place to another. Okay, we'll stop here. Everybody is having a glazed look, but you survived, so that is very nice. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate ಪೂರ್ಣಸ್ಯ ಪೂರ್ಣಮಾದಾಯ ಪೂರ್ಣಮೇವಾವಶಿಷ್ಯತೆ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ.